Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are talking about one of the biggest shakeups in AI, and that is fine-tuning. We're going to break down how customizing these incredibly powerful language models has gone from something only giant tech companies could even dream of to something you, yes you, can actually do on your own computer. So let's get right into it. So here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll talk about the massive wall that used to block everyone, what I'm calling the AI training barrier. Then we'll introduce the game-changing solution from Hugging Face. After that, we dive into the magic that makes it all work, the PEFT revolution. We'll underscore why data is absolutely king, and finally, show you how to shift your mindset and become a model adapter. All right, first things first, to really get why what's happening now is such a big deal, you have to understand the old way of doing things. You have to understand the massive, expensive wall that pretty much everyone used to hit when they tried to make an AI model work for their specific needs. I mean, seriously, have you ever looked at this stuff and just thought, there's no way I can do this without a crazy budget and a whole data center? Well, for the longest time, you were absolutely right. That was the reality. The cost, the complexity, it was just off the charts for basically everyone. And just look at these numbers. They speak for themselves. If you wanted to train a big model from scratch, we're talking tens, maybe hundreds of millions of dollars, thousands of high-end GPUs running for months on end. Even the supposedly cheaper option, full fine-tuning, just adapting a model that already exists, was completely out of reach for most people and companies. And these weren't just financial hurdles. We're talking serious practical roadblocks. Full fine-tuning needs these beastly, specialized GPUs with tons of dedicated memory, VRAM. The training itself could take days, even weeks. And on top of all that, you had this huge risk of what's called catastrophic forgetting. That's where the model gets so hyper-focused on your new data that it actually forgets the general knowledge it started with. Not great. But what if there was a way to just sidestep all of that? What if you could adapt a model without needing a supercomputer and, crucially, without making it forget everything it knows? Well, this is where the hero of our story comes in, Hugging Face, and its whole open-source philosophy. You know, this quote right here, it's from the dedication of the book we're drawing from today, and it just says it all. The entire mission, the whole point, is to democratize this incredible technology, to get it out of the ivory towers and into the hands of everyone who wants to build something amazing. And Hugging Face pulls this off because it's not just one single tool. It's a whole ecosystem. You've got libraries like transformers for the models, datasets for handling data, and then these other critical pieces like PEFT and Accelerate. When you put them all together, you get what the source material calls a modern machine learning operating system. It's the whole package. So that's the big picture. But how exactly does this ecosystem make fine-tuning so incredibly accessible? Well, the answer is a truly revolutionary technique that's at the heart of it all. It's called PEFT. PEFT stands for Parameter Efficient Fine-Tuning, and honestly, the idea is as elegant as it is powerful. Instead of trying to change the entire model, all of its billions and billions of parameters, you do something much smarter. You freeze the huge original model in place, and then you just train a tiny little set of new parameters that adapt it for your specific task. And the difference this makes, it's just staggering. Look at this. With full fine-tuning, you're wrestling with 100% of the model's weights, but with a PEFT method like LoRA, you're training often less than 1%. Think about that. You're going from trying to update billions of numbers to just a few million. It's a total game changer. Here's the best way to think about it. Imagine you have a genius, right? Someone who knows basically everything. Now, instead of trying to retrain their entire brain for a new job, you just give them a small, specialized adapter, like a pair of glasses that helps them focus all of their genius on one specific thing. The core knowledge is still there, totally untouched, but their performance on that new task becomes world-class. That's PEFT. So the bottom line, the number to remember is this. With these techniques, you can get results that are just as good as full fine-tuning, but with up to 99% fewer parameters to train. And what does that mean in the real world? It means less memory, way faster training, and much, much lower costs. It's what makes this whole thing possible on a gaming laptop instead of a supercomputer. Now, this efficiency is incredible. It feels like magic, but it's not. It only works if you get one other, absolutely essential component right. And that is your data. Because no matter how clever your technique is, the model can only learn from what you show it. And the book we're sourcing puts it perfectly. This is the golden rule. Garbage in, garbage out. It's never been more true. The quality of the data you train on directly, one-to-one, determines the quality of your final model. I guarantee you a small, clean, high-quality data set will beat a giant, messy, noisy one every single time. And getting that data right isn't guesswork. There's a clear workflow. First, you've got to find or create the right data set for what you're trying to do. Then, and this is key, you have to clean it and pre-process it meticulously. After that, you tokenize it so the model can actually read it. And finally, you have to split it up properly so you can test your model's performance without any bias. Okay, so when you put all this together, these super efficient PEFT techniques, high-quality data, and the whole Hugging Face ecosystem, something really fundamental begins to change. Your whole relationship with these AI models can shift from being passive to being incredibly active. And this is the transformation I'm talking about. You go from being a model consumer, where your main question is, how do I word this prompt just right to get what I want, to becoming a model adapter, where you ask, how can I change the model itself to give me what I need every time? You're not just using the tool anymore, you're actually shaping it. Now, look, we've covered the big ideas here today, the what and the why behind this incredible, accessible revolution in AI. But if you want to go from just understanding it to actually doing it, the book this is all based on is your how. It's got the step-by-step code, the hands-on projects, and the real-world workflows to get you building and adapting your very own models. And you know what the best part is? You're not going on this journey alone. There is this huge, vibrant, brilliant open-source community out there. You can jump into the forums, you can contribute on GitHub, you can share the models you build, but the most important thing, really, is to just get your hands dirty and learn by doing. So that leaves us with one final, and I think very exciting, question. Now that these massive barriers have been torn down, now that the tools are more accessible than ever before, what are you going to build first? What problem are you going to solve? Your journey starts right now.